but it was also highly anticipated. A cabinet reshuffle that will reposition the administration at a time when approval ratings appeared to have dipped. 5 ministers were relieved of their appointment and 7 more nominated as ministers, while several others were reassigned portfolios within the federal cabinet. President Bola Tinubu scrapped the Ministry of Niger Delta and approved the creation of the Ministry of Regional Development that will oversee affairs of all regional development commissions in the country. The Ministry of Sports Development was also taken out. Likewise, the Ministry of Tourism that has now been merged with the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. Also, after a 10-month vacuum, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation will finally get a minister, following the sack of Betta Edu in January.
The Federal Executive Council has taken a decision to take that Ministry of Tourism out and the functions of that ministry be transferred to a new ministry called the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy. The President and members of Council today took a decision to rename that ministry so that all these other regional bodies will come under this new Ministry of Regional Development.
The minister of the defunct Ministry of Niger Delta made some clarifications regarding the nomenclature of the new Ministry of Regional Development, insisting it is without prejudice to the Niger Delta region.
For our people over there in the Niger Delta region, I would like them to know that that has not removed anything from them. The NDDC is still very much in place, which is still under the Ministry of Regional Development, and all other such agencies are there. It's just a question of change of nomenclature. That is what has been done. And I wouldn't want anybody in that region to begin to feel that the Ministry of Niger Delta has been scrapped and is no more in existence.
The cabinet reshuffle may be part of recommendations submitted in a report by Hadiza Bala Usman, Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination. She is saddled with the responsibility of appraising the performance of the ministers. Hadiza Bala Usman launched the Citizens Delivery Tracker app, which is the first digital app that empowers citizens to rate ministries, departments and agencies. It is unclear the kind of impact citizens had in the process or if their input influenced the decision to retain or sack ministers. In the coming days, the list of the 7 newly nominated ministers will be sent to the Senate for screening. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's take you to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives has moved to increase the monthly revenue allocation to oil-producing states. The House also seeks to amend Section 162, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. National Assembly correspondent Chakadisa reports.
Section 162, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution stipulates 13% oil derivation for oil-producing states in the country. River State member Awaji Nombek Abiante and 8 other members are the sponsors of a bill seeking to increase the derivation fund to not less than 50%. He says every state in Nigeria is endowed with mineral resources, and the bill seeks to ensure states and regions where minerals are extracted from also have their revenues allocated according to the 50% or more formula.
Section 162, sub 2 of the Constitution be altered. And in line with our practice, I appeal to my colleagues to also allow this to have the privilege, like several others have also had, to be moved to the Committee on Constitutional Review to consider the merits and otherwise of this proposed alteration.
But some of his colleagues say they do not have the details of the bill.
To read Section 162(2) that he is referring to, because in my opinion, and I'm sure in the opinion of many seated here, it's a well-crafted section that is meant to protect the unity and diversity of Nigeria.
We need to know under which principles would they want to amend Section 162, subsection 2 of the Constitution. We need to know the principles behind that. They need to break it down. Let us know the rationale, because we don't have the bill.
A similar bill from Mark Esset passed second reading. It seeks 60% revenue allocation to oil-producing states.
When this law is passed, Mr. Speaker, it will encourage states to go into the full development of these natural resources to the benefit of the states, having in mind the revenue derivation they will have.
If passed into law, the proponents of the bill say it will not only bring about unity, but also enhance the development of states and regions with one natural resource or another, which will spill over positively to the citizens. Joke Edsa, TVC News, Abuja.
In Ondo State, where Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has taken his campaign to Ondo local council, asking the people to remain steadfast in their commitment to the state. Senior reporter Ayodeji Muradio reports.
As part of his campaign tour of the state ahead of the November 16 governorship election, the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, visited several communities in Ondo local government area. In addition to receiving an overwhelming reception from residents, the governor was also endorsed by traditional rulers in the local government. Some of the areas visited by the governor include Bolowo, Kiribo, and Agadagba, among others. The governor expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support, emphasizing the importance of the upcoming election. He promised to reciprocate their trust with impactful projects and policies.
I feel so excited and happy for today's campaign. We are here at Arugo LCDA in Ondo local government, where we have to address our people. We have met with all the traditional rulers in this LCDA and with all our party leaders. We have one major defector today, the last man standing in PDP.
One of the leaders in Ondo local government area, Pibokore Ajube, urged residents to rally behind Governor Aiyedatiwa.
My people, they've known that Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa is the person they support. They are not doing another one. And they know, I am telling them now, that they should send the message to other people that are not aware that Lucky Aiyedatiwa is a person of integrity, dignity.
The governor is expected to take his campaign to Ifedore local government area of the state. Ayodeji Muradio, TVC News, Ondo.
Let's take a short break, and when we return, we shall be focusing on PDP crisis and opposition politics in Nigeria. Welcome back, everyone. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has postponed its National Executive Committee meeting from October 24 to November 28. But I guess it's not a surprise to many. But the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, says the postponement was to ensure that the party goes into the forthcoming Ondo gubernatorial elections with the unity and strength demanded to unseat the APC. The Board of Trustees of the PDP continues to call for peace and a return to the status quo among fielding members of the National Working Committee. BOT Chairman Senator Adolphus Waber expressed concern over the ongoing internal crisis and urged all parties involved to de-escalate tensions for the sake of the party unity. He emphasized that while disagreements are natural, the PDP's tradition of internal democracy must not be compromised. Waber also assured members that the BOT would engage with the NWC to foster reconciliation and restore normalcy. Tonight, let's speak with Sani Umar, as a former media advisor to former Vice President Namadi Sambo, and also former Presidential Campaign Council spokesperson, on this latest development as PDP suspends NEC meeting. Honorable Umar, good evening to you. Thank you so much for finding time to join us on Politics Tonight. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
All right. So in the last 2 weeks since this matter became a full-blown crisis, every concerned stakeholder has been asking that peace returns to the party. And many wonder why it took the governors this long to intervene. Some say the answer is evident. Everyone has taken a side. And at the time everyone is asking for peace to reign, just yesterday, former Governor Soswem openly says Damagun must go. What exactly do you think is happening?
Well, what is happening is not entirely new to the PDP. And what is happening is a completion of a process that has started. In the last national convention, the PDP elected its national officers. And the national officers were elected on the strength of their offices. The national chairman at that time elected was Iyocha Ayu. And Iyocha Ayu, being the national chairman, had to give way to a court order. And the court order has put him aside and said he is no longer the chairman pending the determination of the case. And so the party could not replace him in pursuant to section 47, subsection 6 of our PDP constitution, which has given NEC the power to appoint somebody where a vacancy occurs. So because of that, the Damagun, who is the next officer from the northwest, from the zone where the national chairman comes from, who is the deputy national chairman, assumed the responsibility of acting national chairman. Now, having assumed that responsibility of acting national chairman, he could not give way, and that's why he stayed longer than necessary. He couldn't call NEC to review the situation. But when Ayu finally decided to withdraw his suit in court, and to say there is no problem, then that was when the agitation for representation, for a particular zone to complete its tenure. This is in line with the principles and practice, as enshrined in the PDP constitution. When Bamanga Tukur was national chairman and he resigned his position, the next person was taken from northeast, the same northeast where Bamanga Tukur was from Adamawa State. When he left, Adamu Muazu from Bauchi State from north took over. And when Adamu Muazu left, the next person who took over was Alimo Dusharim, still from the northeast. So it's PDP tradition that if a position is zoned to a particular zone, that zone completes its tenure. So as it is now, Damagun is an acting national chairman. And being an acting national chairman, his position of deputy national chairman, as it is now, is vacant. Nobody is occupying it because he's acting as a national chairman. So the party is saying that, look, return to status quo, go back to your position, let North Central bring somebody to complete the tenure. So these were some of the issues that reverberated and caused a lot of stir within the party. Some people were in support that Damagun should continue because of some pecuniary interests they are likely to go to benefit if he's there, while some people believe that due process and constitutional position must be adhered to. So these are the things that has polarized the party and has brought the party at this particular level. Don't forget that, of course, vested interest, political interest is also part of the issue. People with different interests and in pursuit of that interest. So these are the reasons that have brought in, and NEC has been postponed about 3 times now. It was supposed to take place in April, it was moved to August, it was moved to September, and now to October.
Is that intentional? Mr. Omar, is that intentional? Because I'm wondering how we can juxtapose everything you've said and what we heard over the weekend. You've said the completion, this is what we're seeing is the completion of a project that started long ago. So are you saying this crisis escalated because the national leadership of the party failed to adhere to its own constitution? Also because over the weekend we heard Governor Wike saying that there is an agreement, there is a standing agreement that Damagum continues to be acting chairman until the next NEC meeting. So are you saying the postponement of this meeting is quite intentional, just to keep Damagum in office?
No. The first and foremost, the PDP Governors Forum Chairman, Bala Mohammed, decided that in view of the skirmishes that took place, where some people said, that the PDP is factionalized, where Damagum is saying, I have suspended Debo Olaloga, and Debo is saying, no, we have suspended Damagum and Anyawu. These are some internal skirmishes which must be settled, and it must be doused. And so the first procedure was to douse this tension, which is what the PDP Governors Forum sat down to go united, to be united first, address the Ondo election, which comes up on November 16th. Then after that, we now go to the next meeting to resolve this issue of leadership once and for all.
Because for someone like former Governor Soswam, it says Damagum has turned the party into a business venture and is insisting that he's not qualified to remain in the party's leadership. It says if Damagum stays, he would leave the party. And this particular accusation has come from more than one person. Some say Damagum is Wike's person, though the minister says they are not friends. But it looks like every time there is an effort to unite the party, such as the Reconciliation Committee, new issues spring up. Why is this so?
You see, for what Suswam has said, I don't know whether I'm not a member of the National Working Committee, neither am I a member of the NEC. But nevertheless, I cannot draw conclusion that Damagum is immersed in money politics or so. But what I can see, which is very loud and clear, is that there is the need for North Central to conclude their tenure. That is constitutional. Secondly, the issue of Wike or no Wike, whether Wike is Wike's friend or is not Wike's friend, is not an issue. The issue is about whether Damagum ought to continue to remain there. And why would Wike want him there? Because he will protect the Congress, River State Congress, that the Governors Forum is saying was not conducted in accordance with the provisions of our statute, which is the Constitution. So they are appealing to NWC to nullify the River State Congress, PDP Congress, and allow the governor, similar one, to be in charge of that Congress, because in our tradition, the governor is the head of the party in the state and not somebody else. So these are interests which are divided, and the Governors Forum are protecting one of their own, that he ought to be in charge and not anybody else. So if Wike is protecting Damagum, is protecting Damagum because Damagum is protecting the Congress that Wike's people are now occupying. While the Governors Forum, in protecting their own, they are saying no, that Congress is unacceptable and that a new Congress must be called for and the Ubara must be in charge. These are the issues.
So, Mr. Omar, I mean, I want us to be very clear. So you authoritatively say that Damagum is working in the interest of Nyesom Wike. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm only trying to tell you, in view of your question, while Wike is saying he's not his friend, but he's still together with him. If you say somebody is not your friend, but you are still protecting him, you are getting court orders to protect him, it is because you are protecting a vested interest, not the person. Because the person is helping you to protect your interest, so you will also have to work to protect his own. This is the political game plan that is ongoing.
You know, because this crisis has remained intractable, do you think political parties in Nigeria really have an internal dispute resolution mechanism? Would you say some of them have evolved over the years on how they must settle their internal wrangling without making it a national issue? Or for some others, they really do have these internal mechanisms but are mostly ignored? In the case of PDP now?
The PDP is a well-structured party. The founding fathers had already laid out a very flawless structure that allows for internal resolution mechanism of all conflicts within the party. But there is a new dimension or a new twist to it. At the moment, we are having the interference of the judiciary in the day-to-day running of affairs of our party. It appears that the judiciary is telling the party what to do and what not to do. If the
but the politicians take their matters to the judiciary. Mr. Omar, politicians take their issues and matters to the judiciary.
Yes, but the judiciary ought to respect the plethora of cases where it has established that a political party has the right to exist and that the political party, the internal affairs of a political party is its own business. The court cannot come and begin to spell out what a political party should do and should not do. Where I know that the majority of cases where the court interfere is during elections, and in that period, the court used to say that you have to follow your constitution and follow your guidelines. In the event that you disobey your guidelines or the constitution, then the courts can come in to mandate you to follow your constitution. In otherwise, the judiciary has no business telling the political party what to do and what not to do, how to run its own affairs.
But I mean, my next question would be, how flawless is this structure the founding fathers of the party have put on ground? And I'm asking that question because since 2015, the PDP has not been able to bring the party back to its winning ways. As of 2016, PDP has had about 14 national chairmen in 18 years. After then, the national chairmen are always disgraced out of office. This is a party that brags that it will remain in power for 60 years. Years down the line, the party did not only lose its firm grip at the center and in many states and local governments. My question is, can the PDP recover from this? How does the PDP, the party, reshape its leadership structure?
You see, the party has a winning way. When Prince Uche Secondos came into the party, at that time, the party had only 11 governors. When Buhari took over, we lost so many governors, and we had only about 11 governors. But when Prince Uche Secondos came, the number increased to 16. Which is to tell you that good leadership brings about success. And so now, when litigations began to set in, they have refused to allow the parties to stabilize, work as cohesively as a team and pursue a common agenda, which is to be the strongest opposition in Nigeria. Now, that opposition program has been, subletted to individuals and the nation, the politicians, the citizens. The citizens are now the opposition in Nigeria, which is why the PDP needs to have his house in order. And in so doing, they have appointed a disparity committee headed by Chief Tim, and then appointed, a reconciliation committee headed by former Governor Olagunso Oyinlola. These people are well tested, well trusted. They have managed parties, they have managed government. They are very much aware of the challenges ahead, and they are working tirelessly to bring the party, into unity. And not forgetting the efforts of Governor Bola Mohammed, who is working very hard to unite the party. And I think yesterday's meeting, you will see that he came out and said the party is now fully united. Everything has been reconciled. Now we are approaching Ondo with a view to recovering Ondo, which initially was our own. It was, under Olusegun Agagu, before Ondo, we lost it to Mimiko. But nevertheless, we are now working so hard to ensure that in Ondo, PDP dominates the election from November 16th.
All right. Mr. Omar, let's take a break. And when we come back, we will continue this conversation. Please stay with us, everyone.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of your view are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to Journalists Hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
Welcome back to Politics Tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us on the program. Sani Umar, former media advisor to former Vice President Namadi Sambo, is also former Presidential Campaign Council spokesperson, is my guest on the program tonight as we focus on PDP crisis and opposition politics in Nigeria. Mr. Umar, thank you so much for staying with us on the program. Now, I'd like us to go back to the party's constitution and perhaps you help us with more clarity. So isn't there like a time frame to when an acting chairman should remain in office, thereby making it sacrosanct for a NEC meeting to hold? And who holds the highest organ of the party accountable when it does not adhere to his own guidelines?
You see, an acting national chairman is supposed to last for the period that every NEC meeting should hold. where the NEC will decide whether he continues or he steps aside, which is that NEC meetings are supposed to be held every 3 months as enshrined in our constitution. So we need to have 4 NEC meetings in a year. Of course, there could be an emergency NEC meeting and an extraordinary NEC meeting. But in any case, there has to be NEC meeting. But because of the fear of removal, NEC meetings have failed to hold since April. In fact, since Damagun came on board, he could not hold NEC meeting. But I do not blame him entirely for that, because as at that time, he was afraid to be removed. And again, even if he was removed, you can't replace him, because IU is in court, and he has already requested the court to say they should not replace him until the full determination of the matter in court. So there was a serious issue where the Damagun cannot give it. Right. But since IU withdrew the case in court, it is now incumbent, that the court is now the party now comes and sits down, and because he knows that, with frequent NEC meetings, the issue of his seat will be a recording decimal. And so in doing that, he is always trying to dodge any NEC meeting. And then somebody goes to court to say the national chairman should not be removed.
But Mr. Omar, would you say
the day-to-day running of affairs of the party?
But would you say the governor stepped in too late? Do you doubt the sincerity of purpose as at the time they stepped in? Because many say what escalated this crisis most times is the questionable positions of the kinds of person who make up members of this reconciliation committees. Are they really neutral? Because this is not the first time PDP is coming up with a committee of this kind. Yet these issues never go away, but continue to spread to states. I mean, look at Rivers, look at Benue and the likes.
Yes, you see, I said earlier on, in some other national television programs, that the governors suddenly woke up from a jolt. They were sleeping, but their meeting in Jalingo provided the needed impetus to, recalibrate the party and put the party on the threshold of, a new horizon. So their decision in Jalingo was a right step in the right direction, and they have been following that decision, even though there are some divisions within the governors within a forum. But I can assure you that majority of the governors are in support of the path their chairman Bola Mohammed is taking, and because Bola is working assiduously to ensure that things are normalized and things are done properly, which of course would have been done much earlier, because Bola is the one who brought in Damagun. Perhaps he had some sympathy for him, but later on he decided that the best thing is let me do the right thing. And so he is now doing the right thing. And that is why the party is now moving on, towards resolving that issue. Now, the other two committees you are talking about, Tom Ikimi is a well-known person. He has been a chairman, national chairman of one of the two political parties which are defunct, the National Republican Convention. He has been a chairman, and he has, presided over such type of things. So it is not something new to him. So again, Olagunsi Oyedola is also a military man, who has also delved into both military and civilian politics, and he has weathered the storm. I'm very confident that even if they are participants and they have taken sides, they will be able to do the job that all our party adherents are looking forward to. That is to put the party in the proper frame and trajectory, so that they will now provide the needed opposition, so that in 2027, the PDP will now be celebrating hallelujah.
Because you've insinuated that Damagun's stay in office or refusal to leave office is championed by vested interest. For instance, you've mentioned Nyesom Wike, and particularly because these issues began before the general election. Is it right to say that the ambition of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar may have also contributed to how the strength of a national party like the PDP has been weakened over the past few months?
You see, the issue of the PDP may have affected Atiku Abubakar, the interest, but the issue as it is now is not about Atiku Abubakar, because he's not the only person who has ambition. Quite a lot of people have ambition. Gabriel Suswan that you just mentioned.
But some people say that some other persons say this crisis, this particular crisis, is the subtle fight or a subtle battle between Wike and Atiku Abubakar ahead of 2027 presidential election.
No, I disagree.
Okay, it's likely
because
that both men come back together.
Where do you bring in the
again?
Why do you bring the equation of Bala Mohammed, who has already declared that he wants to be president? Where will you bring the issue of Bala, who have said that if he cannot get it, he will support former President Goodluck Jonathan to become the president? Where have we left all those ones? So like I said, it is about vested interest. Each interest is pronounced in this crisis, but nevertheless, you can't pin it on Atiku and Wike. Atiku and Wike, they have already had their beef, and they have already been having their beef. But this one is for you to see how the Governors Forum came on smoking, very strong on the matter. You will know that it has transcended the issue of whether Wike versus Atiku. It is beyond that. So we are looking at how the party can now reconcile, move further. Then people can now come and can trade their interests within the party. And if you have the smoothest right, you can take the ticket.
The NAC meeting has now been postponed, but between now and November, do you fear that this could be the beginning of an implosion within the party, PDP, if not properly handled? I mean, if you holistically look at how political crises in most of these states continue to escalate, for instance, another faction of the PDP in Benue State has elected members of the State Working Committee to run the affairs of the party. We heard former Governor Sosom yesterday. That faction, which claimed to be the original PDP, inaugurated its own state officials on Thursday in Makurdi. Lagos PDP has its own issues. Katsina PDP, Osho PDP keeps losing members to APC. Rivers State, where the crisis there has now become a national issue. Where do we go from here?
You see, this matter that we are pursuing is a matter that has to be handled with care. Because all these issues coming out from the state capital are nothing compared to what will happen if the national chapter is divided. And the Supreme Court has held that you cannot say that there is a division or there is a faction within a political party unless it happens at the national level. And that gives room for people to do whatever they want, whether to defect or to do whatever, if you are an elected representative or so. Now, the issues of merger can also give such advantage. But as it is now, the national is what is our major concern. When you reconcile the national, then other state chapters, the national can now go and reconcile them, and then things will begin to move very well. But the national capital is facing a leadership challenge. And that leadership challenge, people are making informed and well-deserved requests. Give us our tenure, let us finish. When we go to 2025 to do, if you don't want us, rezone it to another place or vote for somebody else. But this is our turn, and let us finish. This is not an emilocon, but this is also, a way of an emilocon, because the North Central are the ones that are supposed to complete this tenure, and this is what we are saying. The Constitution has given them that, that right to complete their tenure. Whoever they want, let them bring. If they want Suswam, if they want David Mark, if they want Emmanuel Agbo, if anybody they want, let them bring it. but let him continue. Let him complete the tenure. Whether implosion or not, I don't think the PDP, with its own strategic political power all over the country, more so that the APC is losing quite a lot of goodwill all over the country. So we are hoping. I'm very prayerful too that the PDP this time around will get it right. Once you see some crisis, then that crisis will lead to reconciliation, and it will be a permanent.
Well, Mr. Omar, when you say when there is peace within the national leadership of the party, it will trickle down to states. Does this apply to Rivers State? I mean, I was going to ask, does PDP still exist in Rivers State? Governor Fubara just sponsored his local government chairman under the platform of another party, which many have called a proxy party, to defeat his own party in the just concluded election. Former Governor Wike has justified his reasons for working in the government of the APC, which was approved by the same PDP.
You see, if you talk about whether Wike worked, his justification for working in the government of the APC, that justification is fraught with so many issues. Number one, Wike said he wrote to the national chairman, and the national chairman gave him approval. The national gave him approval, not the National Working Committee. The National Working Committee was not aware of that approval. NEC was not aware of that approval. So it was done in secret. And it was when Wike announced that our party loyalists knew that he even got an approval to serve in any in an APC government. Nevertheless, the APC has the right whatsoever to choose somebody from any opposition party and say, come and work in the interest of the country. Nobody is arguing whether Wike is entitled to or not entitled to work for Nigeria. But the argument is that Wike has already made some public statements that are very disturbing to the party. One of them is that he said he stands on the mandate of Jagaban. Number two, he said in 2027 he is going to support Ahmed Tinubu. So if he says that, it means his quarrel, his struggle is to undermine the PDP, make it ineffective, so that in 2027, it makes it easy for Asuaju to override the PDP and defeat the party.
Well, Mr. Omar, when you say when Yosef Wike was about to work for the government of the APC, NWC didn't know about it, NEC didn't know about it, but there was no public disapproval to that effect. So if both organs of the party didn't want this to happen, why was there no public disapproval to him working with the APC?
We didn't, like I said, the party was not aware until a situation arose for Wike to now defend his participation in an APC government, which was long after he was given the minister.
So even at the time the party knew, nothing was done.
No, when the party knew, it was too late. He had already started. He had already. When you want to go and write to when he has been appointed to say he should be withdrawn, it's impossible. Already, he's already there.
So if the party regarded that as anti-party, why was Yosef Wike not suspended?
No. It is not. It is not his accepting a position that amounts to anti-party.
Okay.
What amounts to anti-party is his public utterance that he has worked against the party, that he supported somebody, a candidate who is not the candidate of the party, to win an election. That is what is anti-party.
Okay. So, Governor Fubara sponsoring APP, members of APP against his own party. What do you call that?
Well, I am not a in Fubara shoes, but let me tell you this. Politics is when you don't have a control of, you are the governor of a state, and you don't have the control of your own party structure in your state. You cannot put any candidate that will not turn out to be a structure. Don't forget that the crisis in River, the governor has clearly said, is about power and control. And so he wants the control. If you look at the issues that had arisen in terms of local government elections, right from the period as to when the State Assembly said they had extended the tenure of the former local government chairman, and when the governor went to court to say no, it is about putting a structure in place.
All right.
So that when the time for election comes, you will have a smooth thing. Now, if he cannot get it, by taking another party and leaving them there as placeholders, when he is permanent, because the party is now, the governor's forum is fighting for him to take control of his party, he will accede them to say, okay, please, I am now in charge, come back to your home.
Mm.
And I don't think that is anti-party, but that is a political strategy.
Mr. Omar, all right. Let's talk about the nature of opposition politics in Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria has a history of fractured opposition that has been unable to mount a serious challenge to the ruling party. What exactly is the issue?
You see, the opposition in Nigeria during the amalgamation of the APC, I call it amalgamation because different political interests came in to form an opposition to be able to fight the ruling party. The AMPP, the AAC, the TPC, and so forth and so on. They all came came together to say, okay, let us fight the ruling party. And they came with so much propaganda, so much innuendos, and so forth and so on. They confused Nigerians, and Nigerians decided to go with them to make the change. After the change, Nigerians began to see the reality on ground. And so Nigerians are now yearning for those, that's their old bride, the one that, when they remember it with nostalgia, that this is a political party that has been the largest political party in Africa. This is a political party that has brought so many reforms, debt forgiveness, that has, is the largest economy in Africa, and so forth and so on. The party that, when it was in power, inflation was very low, and cost of goods and prices were very low. So Nigerians remember that and say, oh, how are the mighty fallen? How can we recover back our PDP? And that is why the PDP...
Mr. Omar, I asked that question because, we just talked about the PDP. Labour Party is in a leadership turmoil. Look at NNPP. ABGA, a party that is still described as a regional party, is also on the brink of collapse. ADC is still trying to reconcile aggrieved members from the dispute arising from the 2023 general elections. Shehu Sani, who was like the face of the PRP, People's Redemption Party, has left the party. This is to tell you how gigantic the problem is. Do opposition parties have a future in Nigeria? Now, don't you think that to stand a chance at governing, political parties must first prove to voters that they can function as an effective opposition?
You see, all these issues you have raised is as a result of the dexterity of the ruling party. The ruling party tries to create crisis in this political party so that they will not allow them to rest.
So you're saying the APC has put crisis in ABGA, NNPP, PDP, ADC, and all of these parties?
APC is responsible. APC is the one that sponsored Lamidi Apapa, and they have crisis with Abure.
Do you have proof, Mr. Omar?
Apapa decided to come together.
Do you have proof?
Then again,
do you have proof?
Do you need, we are Nigerians. Do you need any proof? What proof do you want?
No, you just alleged that the APC sponsored Papa. to disrupt the Labour Party?
Not a question. We are not in a court of law.
No. If you make allegations on television, you have to have evidences to back up your claims.
On television, you allow Nigerians to decide whether what you have said, imputes in their own intellect or not. This is not a court of law. In court of law, you have to follow the rules of evidence.
Even on Mr. Umar, for proper conversation, even on television, when you make allegations, you must have evidences to back up your claim. But you can continue without making unsubstantiated allegation.
Because in when you make allegations on national television, it is an informed opinion.
It cannot be informed when you do not have.
It is not a fait accompli. It is not a judgment. It is an informed opinion.
It is an opinion. Mr. Omar, kindly hold on. It is an opinion that can mislead millions of Nigerians. So that's why I say that when you make allegations on television, you must come with proof. So you can go on with your conversation without making unsubstantiated allegations. So that was what I needed to point out to you, sir.
I don't know to whom I will substantiate. To you? Are you now the judge?
Mr. Umar, please go on. What I needed to point out is you must not make unsubstantiated allegation, but you can go on with your final thoughts.
Well, yes. Well, I am not making an unsubstantiated allegation. What I'm telling you is the reality on ground. What is happening is that the ruling party is, trying to unsettle all other opposition so that they will have a seamless 2027. This is common sense, and every Nigerian knows it. I'm not trying to divide anybody, and I'm not trying to use any clandestine means to influence certain things. No, I'm speaking to the reality on ground. So opposition political parties have come. You look at which one of them has given you a lot of problems. Labour Party at the last election was a problem. PDP at the last election was a problem. PDP had about almost 6.something million votes. Labour Party had also 6.something million votes. Then the APC had 8 million votes. Now, the closeness of the votes, suggests that in the event of the merger of these two, at the next election, it will be catastrophic for the ruling party. And so the only way is to create problems within the party, so that in the subsequent election, the APC will have it easy.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sani Umar. I mean, the basis of this conversation is for us all to know that as Nigeria forges ahead in its democratic journey, opposition parties must be strengthened. If there is going to be a change in Nigeria's political landscape, a genuine and lasting one, developing a robust opposition is not an option but a necessity. Thank you so much for joining us. Former media advisor to former Vice President Namadi Sambu and former Presidential Campaign Council spokesperson. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Politics Tonight.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight, but you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.
Harpic sachets. It has a thick formula, so all you need is just one sachet for your toilet bowl. It gives 10 times better cleaning and big savings too.
Wow, Helen!
Sparkling clean toilet with Harpic sachet.
When you wake up in the morning, you want to start your day. Start with Kellogg's,